Welcome back to the Squirrel Heed YouTube channel, and this is the preview. England versus Croatia, Croatia versus England, whichever way round you want to put it. It's tonight, and it feels like it's been an age waiting for this game. This game just didn't feel like it was going to come around, and all of a sudden, it's coming round tonight. It's coming, and I'm telling you now, I'm looking forward to it. I am not feeling very nervous right now, but I'm thinking it'll more kick in, like kind of like when I watch Liverpool play, about maybe half an hour before the game starts and stuff like that. I'll start getting a bit nervous, seeing how we'll have the team news by that point as well. And I think it'll be exciting. I think it'll be a good game. I think if I'm going to reference the France and Belgium game a little bit, which I actually thought some people said it was a boring game, and I can understand what people were saying about the France and Belgium game, but that France team showed a level of discipline that I've not seen from the French team for a long, long time. Like I've seen, like watching Paul Pogba do defensive duties, prioritize defensive duties over his actual creative duties and things like that as well. That really helped the team out, like to keep the forwards, keep like Mbappe and Griezmann into, so they could stay forward a lot more, especially Mbappe, because they really, once they went ahead, once France got that goal to go ahead, all they really wanted to do, you could tell all they wanted to do was maybe sit back, take in the pressure from Belgium because they knew that they could handle it, which is that's a hell of a confidence to have from France, and they knew that they could handle the talent levels and everything that Belgium had, and that they could counter with absolutely rapid pace when they needed to. They got the job. They got the job done. That's all. They're in the final. That's pretty much it. Doesn't matter what Belgian players or anything like that say. They are in the final, and they are who is going to be next for either England or Croatia. And England, this is this is the best I've ever seen our national team be supported in my lifetime. I'm 30 years old, so yes, Euro 96 and stuff like that. Was it Euro 96? Pretty sure it was Euro 96. I hope I've got that right. 96 anyway. Obviously, when football's coming home, the actual, three lines on a shirt came out. Originally, there was a massive push behind the national team, and then I don't remember anything like that since. I remember all my memories of the England national team really is just being, you know, no one wants international breaks. I'm not a fan of international breaks anyway, whether we were doing good or not. Like from a club fan perspective, I'm not. But whenever it came around to tournaments, when it came to like the Euros 2 years ago and stuff like that, I did a lot of videos on it. But I wasn't looking forward to watching England play at all. No way. I didn't think we'd improved enough from the World Cup prior, and we hadn't. Yeah, we got out the groups in the Euros. We meet Iceland straight out of there. You know what I mean? But there's just something different about this England team, and a lot of people will turn around and say, is it down to the system? I would say yes, to a point. The system that we play is something that they've gotten used to, and Gareth Southgate didn't do what Roy Hodgson did, where he played one system all the way through qualifying. Team was comfortable with it, got to the tournament and changed it. Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense at all. That's like having something that works consistently and then just going, right, we've got a test today. Let's change everything that we've done for the last year. There's no point. What was the point in doing all of that system work and everything like that? It doesn't make sense. Gareth Southgate has to be applauded not only for the system that he's implemented, but the style of play that the players play and the selection of players that he took. I think at the start of the tournament when people were a bit like Harry Maguire, or as he was in an interview I think the other night, and like it might have been last night that I saw it actually when in a break when Belgium were, I think it was half time or something, and the interviewer just said, "Is there something about like your head, slabhead?" He gets called slabhead a lot, and you know what? He's a brilliant defender. He's a fantastic defender, but he was a brilliant defender this year. Not just, oh, he looks like a good defender. Let's bring him into the national team and hope he does well. Same with Loftus Cheek. All right, he hasn't played as much as some of the other guys have, but he's warranted his place there. A lot of the players, if not all of the players that are playing for England, have actually played well for their clubs. They aren't just big name players like when we used to accommodate. I'll say it as well, even as a Liverpool fan, like we used to accommodate for having Steven Gerrard in there. When you had Frank Lampard as well, and then you'd have Wayne Rooney being shoved into the team as well. When you've got, maybe even like Gary Cahill, who on the international stage, in my opinion, doesn't perform very well. That's just my opinion. You see the team selection that he's gone with actually seem to have played well all season, made a good impact at their clubs, and you can't really argue with it. We've gotten to a semi-final. You can't really argue with his decisions and the way that he's deciding to set up the team and play. We've been scoring goals. We kept a clean sheet in the last game against Sweden. There's nothing really to complain about. Croatia are a damn dangerous team, but in different ways. Everything is you are relying on that midfield to do all of the work. And I don't mean, all right, I don't necessarily mean defensively, because they've got some good defenders. Lovren, he's a good defender. Vida, he just looks a bit animalistic sometimes. Like he's one of those defenders that you just like, what's he gonna do here? He doesn't seem to mind going in for the rash challenge. They are going to be missing Vasalko or whatever his name was, FIFA 18, FUT champions players' favourite right back almost. Because I think he's either injured or something like that, which is something that has to be said about England right now. All of our players, entire squad, have trained and everybody is fit and ready to report for the game, which is awesome. Means you've got full selection, but probably also means we can field the exact same team that we played last time out, which is excellent news. Because there's no reason to change something that isn't broken. If it's working, keep going with it. Keep going with it. But Croatia, as good as our midfield has been together on an individual basis and also working together, that Croatian midfield with Modric, Rakitic, when you've got likes of Perisic in there as well, Brozovic, who can come off the bench. Who else have they got? I think they had someone who used to play for Real Madrid or does. Is it Kovacic or something like that? Kovacic, however you say his name. They've got quality midfielders. And in Modric and Rakitic especially, more likely to be Modric though, that is one hell of a midfielder. That is someone who can thread a ball through the eye of a needle. And that's dangerous. The one good thing for us, really, is that at the end of the day, they've got Mandzukic up front. And while he can be dangerous, if they had maybe a faster player or something a bit more of an agile, mobile player, they would like up front. They'd probably be a bit more dangerous from those passes. But even so, they've got themselves to a semi-final as well. So they're worthy of their place here. And this by no means is going to be a stroll in the park for England. It really isn't. This is going to be a tough game. I am expecting a very tough game, a tight game, where the midfield battle is going to be key. And this is where we have to take our Englishness, let's just say that, take our Englishness, and we need to work hard because we do not have the level of creativity in our players like they do. It's sometimes just in Modric. Then you've got Rakitic and all these other quality players that are brilliant on the ball and brilliant at supplying players. While we do have some good quality players at that, we are, Henderson, Dele Alli, they're going to have to work hard. They're going to have to work really hard. And I think that they will. I think that they will do that with Henderson obviously being past fit as well and ready to go. That is going to be really good, really key in him helping out the defence, but also helping out the midfield and maybe starting things off to start off attacks and things like that. That is going to be absolutely key for me, I think. I don't know how to predict it. I think that in my mind, I do feel that we will go through. I don't know if we can do it in 90 minutes. Croatia are a frustrating team with a good, solid defence. And even though Vasalko is going to be missing on the right back area, I think they're bringing in Vedran Chorluka, used to play for Tottenham a while ago. And I can't remember who their left back is. and they've got Subasic in goal. They've got some quality players in defence as well, and it's going to be difficult to break it down, and they're just going to have to grind. That's what I think they're going to have to do. I think it's going to be a really tight game, and I think we can do it. We will do it in extra time though, which people might not think is very positive, but I'm just trying to be a little bit realistic of like who we're coming up against and how difficult it will be. And I just think that I think England will win this game, and I think that we will win it 2-1, but it's gonna go to the wire. I think it will go to the wire. I've just got a feeling that it's not going to be comfortable. If it ends up comfortable, great, fantastic. And if we do it in 90 minutes, even better. That would be awesome. Obviously, don't want it going to penalties. While we've won a penalty shootout for the first time in our World Cup history in this tournament, I don't want to go through it again. Certainly not before the final, anyway. No way. And if you go out on a penalty shootout in a semi-final, I mean that's just it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? It really doesn't. Let's not think about that. I do. I think that we can get this done in 120 minutes, extra time, 2-1 England, and we can make it into the final and just have a good go at it against France. But we won't even speak of that. This game is the one that's coming up, and I'm excited for it. Looking forward to it. I will be nervous beforehand, and I'm sure everybody will be. But we'll also be behind the team as well, and I absolutely love that. That is fantastic. It really is. Anyway, let me know what your predictions, anything like that, all of your thoughts in the comments below, if you please. Thank you so much for watching this video on what may be one of my last World Cup videos. Yeah, it flies by, doesn't it? 26th day of World Cup action. It flies by. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.